Glad to know you're still with us. Now, I told you that the topic for discussion today is quite interesting, so let's jump right in. Dealing with a stingy partner can be utterly frustrating. You know, there's a thin line between being careful about money and really being stingy. While it's always good to spend money wisely, you know, being too thoughtful about parting ways with money can be a very, very painful experience. From a social media user, having a stingy husband is the height of it. Do you know my mom told me about how his dad will buy 2 bars of yam, hide it in his room, and when he cuts small out of it for cooking, he'll put a mark on it so that no one else can cut it without his knowledge. Oh no, I'm feeling for that family. You say, all right. Now, that was my reaction when I said, you can actually see how I reacted now. Well, that's by the way, really, that's just to tell you that so many people act in funny and amazing ways when it comes to parting with their monies, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So today we're looking at how do you deal with a stingy partner? Like, how on earth do you deal with a stingy partner? Well, we're not going to be talking about this alone. It's not just Margaret and me. We also have with us Mary Chinda in the building. Hi, Mary, first I need to inaugurate her. I have a signature dance. I'm not a good dancer, but I like to make myself feel good by doing this signature dance. So you're welcome.
That's the way that you're cutting, more like someone who's cutting yam, you know?
Exactly, like cutting.
All right, Mary, good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Nice stuff you have there.
Thank you. Thank you. And you guys are doing so amazing.
Thank you too.
I was watching the show and I'm like, oh, great conversations. Yeah, I mean, it's good to know that we can have less serious conversations. Nigeria is serious enough.
So serious, right?
Living in this country is a lot of hard work.
And you don't need to put it on the show anymore,
I
right?
tell you.
Okay, so basically, have you even had that experience before? I mean, look at what that woman talked about. The father, beg your pardon, who cuts yam, hides it, and I don't get it.
That's absurd.
I never heard. Unfortunately, I come from a family where my father is the protector and the provider.
Whoa,
Key rules of a man.
yes.
Provider, he protects you, then he provides for you. So the woman is comfortable because, you see, we women are not wired to be the providers.
Okay.
When God made us, he didn't make us to provide. So you see, that's why a man has macho muscles, you know, you got muscles for farming, for working, for all. So we are, you know, in those days of our fathers, you know, our great grandparents, you know, you would find out that they go to do the hard work. The women tend to the home. So we didn't have plenty of divorces. We didn't have plenty of issues in marriage. We had women who were homekeepers because the woman was in her place. She was the in Igbo they call it odoziako. You know, she was the housekeeper.
Keeper of wealth, yeah.
She was the keeper of wealth. She was the one who,
wealth.
you know, would have her ministry was to serve the man and to serve the children, while the man assumes his macho, muscular, patriarchal, masculine role of being the provider for the woman and for the children and for the extended families. And then those days the husbands would even have 2 wives, 3 wives. You know, so he was not stingy. If anything, he would care about the woman's earrings, the woman's beads, the woman's wrapper, the woman's then the babies, then this other son, the second wife is delivering, he's caring about the omogo, that's the child christening and everything, even caring for the in-laws, the father's mother, the mother's father, the mother's the wife's mother, the wife's father, his own mother, and everything. So I mean, in those days, I mean, that's what men were, you know, and that's the kind of, I mean, I come from, my father is quite traditional with his responsibility of provider and protector. So, I mean, for me as a woman, I feel comfortable when I attract a man who understands that his first role is to protect me and then to provide for me. So when I see any other situation, it's just not the way God made it. I mean, stinginess for a man is not, probably comes from, now I'm answering the second question because I know you're going to ask me, but stinginess comes from a place where maybe he has been deprived. Maybe he comes from a family where rice is not even enough to go around, and instead of the parents taking care of them and giving them the rice, they probably think about giving it to their neighbors, or think about giving it to church first before taking care of them, or thinks about, no, it's not bad to give to church, but I mean, parents should also be responsible because, you see, your family is your first ministry. You know, the children, the wife that God has given you, or the husband that God has given you is your first ministry. You know, your ministry is to the person. So maybe that person comes from a home where, okay, so I have to be stingy about it. Now that I got rights, I got to be meticulous about it. I got to protect it. So in that way, I can't give to you because giving to you will shorten my ration.
Oh, no.
You know, so when people come from people are a sum total of their past. It's a cause and effect world. Yes, when people have gone through several bad experiences, it alters their character. They become who they are. But probably we're not born like that. You know, or that person has come from a series of relationships where he's given and given and given, and probably he's fallen into the hands of lucky girls. You know, kind of Lagos girls. Like, I mean, I'm a lucky girl. I'm a VI girl, but I mean, I don't say that to say that all lucky girls are bad. But you know, he's probably falling into the hands of aristo girls who, you know, them too. They've been so hurt that, you know, I mean, they don't even see clearly when a man, you know, gives them as a matter of love. So you see a man who's giving you, he's earning 100,000 and he's pushing you 60,000 there. Babe, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of sacrifice. You know, you don't compare the 60,000 naira of a man who earns 100,000 to a man who's your sugar daddy, who's giving you 5 million. I mean, he's got when he was at your age, he was not giving his wife 5 million because he didn't have it.
He didn't have
it. You know, that's not love. You don't compare that. So that man has probably gone through a series of experiences where he keeps giving to these girls, and it looks like, you know, when you give to a woman, she takes you for granted. So all of a sudden, you are now in his life at the point where he's frugal. He doesn't see giving as love anymore. He sees giving as I'm giving you myself. In fact, I know a man who you know, because his giving is attached to his love, he kind of withdraws the giving because he feels that if he gives you, he loves you. Like he, you know, for some people it's like sex. You know, it's like intercourse. When they have intercourse with a lover, that's their greatest resistance. It feels like they've given you themselves. You know, that's also where giving is to some people. So because they don't want to give themselves all out, they hold back their finances. For me, if I give you, I love you.
All right, maybe let's talk about this streamlining to,
you know,
to female counterpart now. Does this thing you just said apply to we women? Because now, before you came in, Pep and I were talking about, what you mentioned that, okay, it was the producer of the show. She said there's a story, a lady, her husband was the one providing for the family, doing a lot out of the little he had, not knowing that this lady earns more than him, and had bought a car for her brother, had properties elsewhere. I didn't tell him, and he was stretching himself.
That trended on social media. I think it was early this year.
She wasn't contributing.
It was. I followed that story when it trended, and that marriage was at the brink of breaking. She spoke out because she needed advice. You know, she had even been building a house. Her father knew about it, and then she had even been straining or sending her brother out of the country, or sending him money, or buying him an Uber and all of that. And the husband didn't know. The thing is, maybe that woman has gotten into some experiences where the woman contributes and then the man still cheats. And then you're asking yourself, why am I even doing this?